This is the brand new Oupes 1800, which was sent to me for review. Linda and I always carry a 500 watt portable power station, and we usually have a 1000 watt portable power station. The 500 we keep in the car for charging batteries, cell phone batteries and camera batteries and things like that. I always have the 1000 watt one in the trailer because it runs my laptop. It'll run it all day when I'm editing videos. That 1000 watt power station will also power our refrigerator 24 hours a day, as long as we have at least 100 watts of solar plugged into it. And they're good for that, but they won't run a burner. This one, this new Oupes will. This will run your Instapots. This will run your microwave. This will run a toaster oven even. This will handle all of that. This will run power tools. This is totally different. It's bigger, it's heavier, and way more capable. It's got your typical layout. It's got 3 AC plugs on this side, power button here. It's got input down here, which I'll tell you about. And it's got your 12 volt side over here, which is all regulated at 12.8 volts. 2 quick charge USB ports, 2 60 watt USB-C ports, 2 5.5 millimeter 12 volt 10 amp DC ports, and of course your 10 amp accessory outlet right here, 12 volt accessory. These 110 outlets over here are pure sine waves, so they won't damage any of your equipment, even your sensitive laptops and things like that. It won't hurt them. 120 volt, 1800 watts. That's 1800 watts continuous on this right here. It has a 4000 watt surge peak, just a momentary surge, just in case you're running a power tool and it has that initial surge when you first push the button on it. This will handle up to 4000 watts, just for momentary. The battery in it is lithium iron phosphate LiFePO4. You'll get 3500 cycles on that, and that's just down to the 80% mark. This will last for many years. And that battery is 1488 watt hours. Comes with an 8 amp AC charger, and it'll put up to 200 watts in, either one of these. And you can also hook it up to another 200 watts of solar, so you can put up to 400 watts into this at any one time. And charging it that way would take about 3.5 hours. I have an Oupes 1100 that I like, and one of the best features on these is, sure, they all got a light, right? But on the Oupes lights, they're really bright. They put out a lot of light. It's got a medium, kind of a medium setting and a high setting. And I've even used my 1100 series so far on photo shoots just as a fill light because it's so bright. Of course, it's got the SOS on it. It only has 3 buttons on it. AC on and off here, main power button, and your DC on and off over here. So much reflection on it, it's hard to show you exactly what it's doing. Let's see here. Oh, there, that's better. There we go. How many hours you've got left, what the percentage is you've got left. The blue segments are each 20%, so it gives you a graphical display also. How many watts are going out, and if I had power plugged into it right now, it would show at the same time how many watts are coming in. So it's a great display. When you turn on your AC power, it shows AC down here. Just push this button to bring the display back on. AC power is on right now. And this shows also the USB ports are all powered up. This is your DC power over here. You turn that off and everything comes off. Shows everything that's on right now. So it's a really good display. So you can see it's larger than a 1000 watt unit, maybe half again as big. And it's still light enough that you can haul it around. It's got this good carry handle on the top. A unit like this and a couple of solar panels may be all that you need. And now it's time to test the efficiency of the inverter. So what I've got hooked up to it here is a reptile cage heater, a couple hundred watts, maybe 250 watts. And then I've got a little 95 watt plate warmer over here. So it's drawing a total of 295 watts, and we'll come back in a few hours and see how this is doing. So we got 1,250 watt hours out of a 1,488 watt hour battery for an efficiency rating of 84%. See, I just did that on the top of my head, and a calculator that I have in my pocket. The efficiency rating is relative. It's evidently Oupes maintains 10% to protect the battery, and then the rest of it went to run the fan and the lights while it was running. Some companies maintain 15% to protect the battery, and one company, I tested their power station, and they retained 20% to protect the battery. There's nothing wrong with that. The battery is expensive, and you do need to protect it. That's what makes these expensive, is that lithium iron phosphate battery, which is a great battery. Okay, it ran my refrigerator for 15 hours, and now I got it recharging again. We'll see how long it takes to recharge from absolutely flat. And right now, plugged into my refrigerator, you can see the pass-through charging. It's plugged in here charging. 187 watts coming in, 131 watts going out. Okay, now I've got two Oupes power bricks hooked up to the AC, each one putting out just under 200 watts. And I've got them plugged in simultaneously. You can see I've got a load of 618 watts going out. I've got 373 watts coming in. Now with just the one power brick plugged in that this comes with, it's only charging at about 187 watts, because each of these two inlets here will take up to 200 watts. And this works perfectly if you have 4 of their solar panels at 200 watts a piece with the pigtails. So you can put 200 watts of solar in here on this side and 200 watts of solar in here. But it also works with 2 of their power bricks, putting up to 200 watts per side. So if you've got 400 watts coming in, this will charge up in about 5 hours or less. Okay, the next test I want to run, this is kind of an important one, is with the AC turned on, how much does this lose per hour just running the inverter? So here we go, 100% fully charged here, and AC is now on. Inverter drawdown test. So in the last 12 hours, it's gone down 12%. So AC turned on and no load, the inverter is using 1% per hour. All right, it's an 1800 watt inverter. Let's just see what we can get out of that before this thing shuts down. All right, there's that heater there and the other one here on the table. Turn the AC on. That's the fan kicking on. Okay, this heater's on high. Right now drawing about 1250. I'm reaching down with my right hand and turning this other heater on low setting. And that's taking it right up to 1,806, 805 watts. The fan just came on. So it's running 1,800 watts, no problem. I'm just going to let that run here for a couple minutes though. Well, okay, it's handling, there's 1,785 watts. It's handling that just dandy, no problem at all. I've got this 95 watt warming plate here. I'm going to plug it in, and I expect this Oupes to shut off pretty fast here when I do this. Okay, there's 18, 19, 1840, 1860, 1860, 1862. And it's running that. It's continuing to run 1,860 watts. Definitely have a 1800 watt inverter in here and it's handling it just fine. Very nice. Okay, now let's see what it takes to trip this. This is about a 220 watt ceramic heating element, the kind that they use in old greenhouses and pet cages. So I'll turn on this last. I guess we'll start with this heater down here. Then this one up here. That should take us up to that 1800 watts again. Woo, it exceeded that. There's up to, went up over 2000 watts. Okay, everything is settled in here at just under 1800 watts. Now I'm going to turn on this 220 watt unit over here and we'll see how long it takes for this to shut down. 1870, 1900, 19, there's 2000 watts, 2008 watts. Okay, it ran that for just about a minute before it shut down. Just over 2000 watts for about a minute before it finally shut it off. Hope I didn't hurt anything here, but I don't think so. Because it's designed to protect itself. So it tests out really well. No complaints there at all. It handles 1800 watts just fine. It handled over 1800 watts, a little bit over, for just fine without shutting down. And it handled 2000 watts for a full minute before it finally shut down to protect itself. Hey, Oupes sent me their first product last year. It was this Oupes 1100 here. And I didn't know what to think of Oupes. I never heard of them, but the specs looked good on this. The specifications with the LiFePO battery and everything that they said. So I agreed to do a review, and it reviewed well, and we've been using it ever since pretty darn regularly. So, and then the other reviewers on YouTube agree that this is a good quality product. Then Oupes sent me 3 Oupes 600s, the littler one, which I tested out, and then I gave away those 3 units, and those were all fine too. So they've developed a name for themselves on the market. It's a good product. So if this Oupes 1800 happens to meet your needs, size-wise and price-wise, then judging on past performance and how this one is tested out over the last month or 6 weeks, I feel comfortable in recommending this one. Currently on Amazon, this one is $1,200. Not exactly, it's $1,199.99 to be exact. Anyways, it's $1,200. Be sure and check the video link and the description below in the video for any Gonagain discount codes. Hey, I hope you guys like this review. If you did, please give it a like and a share and subscribe, and we'll see you around.